forget to hit that like and subscribe button. All right, everybody. What's going on, people? This is John Epimney back with another sports reaction, talking about the Chicago Bears versus the New York Giants. The Bears came back to win it big against the Detroit Lions, 27-23. Big comeback in the fourth quarter. Mr. Trubisky was lights out, 8 of 10 for 89 yards, 3 touchdowns. But we already touched on that. Now their next opponent is New York Giants, who lost 26-16 last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And let's just check out their stats and see how everything going. Talking about the Bears' opponent, it will be the New York Giants yet again. They had 308 yards of total offense, and they gave up 348 yards on total defense. Now, normally when I see a stat like that, even though it's the first game of the season, normally I'd be like, man, that's excellent. But the Bears' defense didn't do no better. In fact, they did worse. They gave up 426 total yards on defense. Now, nobody expected that. Nobody. No expert, not the Bears fans, not even the players expected to give up 426 yards against the Lions. Somewhere around maybe 300, 325, maybe, because Matthew Stafford is that good at it and they shut down the run. For the most part, probably give up 45 yards the whole game. No. The Lions ran for over 100 yards. If you watch my last video, I said it. Adrian Peterson will light up the Bears. He's been doing it for the longest, and he gonna do it all the way to the end of his career, and that's basically what the hell he did. They gave up over 100 yards rushing and almost 300 yards passing. Luckily, Jalen Johnson and Eddie Jackson made a key play. Both, like, it wouldn't matter if Eddie Jackson was there. Jalen Johnson would have made that play either way. Both of them going for the deflection of the ball. Pop it up, Kyle Fuller gets the interception, which was excellent as well. But back to the Giants. The Giants' leading passer is Daniel Jones. Last year he ran over the Bears whenever he had time, basically. And Saquon Barkley, basically, he did his thing in that game. And it's a possibility that he might do it again, especially if the defense playing this bad, might mess around and have a 300-yard passing game. Despite the fact them only putting up 16 points, Daniel Jones still did more, I say average amount, but he can be spectacular against the Bears. He was 26 of 41 for 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was also the leading rusher with 4 carries and 22 yards. Now, when you hit 22 yards, you're like, what the hell? Yes, Saquon Barkley got shut down by that Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Now, this is the question that I'm going to find out mainly against the Bears. Was it the simple fact that their offensive line is just that bad? Or is the Pittsburgh Steelers rush defense really just that good? So we're going to find out with that, because Saquon Barkley only had 15 carries for 6 total yards the entire game, and he also had 6 receptions for 60 yards. Other than that, he was a non-factor in the running game. But the Bears do have to worry about the Giants' leading receiver, Slayton. He was just dominating that game. He had 6 receptions for 102 yards, 2 touchdowns. So he is not one of those type of players that you can just pass up and be like, well, he just did that against them or whatever, because Steelers clearly played an excellent game, only gave up 16 yards, and they held one of the best running backs in check basically the entire game. He was really nothing more than a receiver out there. He is the second leading receiver on the team as we speak right now. So that lets you know exactly how good that Steelers defense was and how good the Bears defense definitely need to be. On the defensive end, the 2 leading tacklers was Blake Martinez, the former Packer. How I know that? Played the Bears last year, evidently. He had 12 tackles. And Corey Ballentine, their cornerback, was second in the team with 9 tackles. Now, I already know the Giants going to be a dangerous team, and that's something definitely to look forward to with the Bears. Speaking of the Bears, we're going to start this off just talking about, on a side note, with Allen Robinson. He is just pissed off with the organization. He did not say he want to be traded, which is like, thank God, like, thank you for that at least. But he pissed off with the organization because he's seeing all these other players get extensions, and the body of work that he's put in with the Bears. This is last year on his contract. I'm surprised they haven't gave him a 3 or 4 year extension by now, unless they waiting 8 games through the season to see if he's still going to be that productive player that he's been over the last 2 seasons, basically going up in production every season, which I believe he's still going to go up in production this season. What do I say? Bears, sign this goddamn man. Sign him to a long-term deal. Evidently, he wants to be here. Sign Allen Robinson. But back to talking about the Bears on another note, on another stalemate, basically, going against the Giants yet again. They had 363 total yards of offense, 149 rushing. On the side note, it say they had 214 yards of total passing, but I don't get it because Mitch Trubisky passed for 240 something yards and he threw 3 touchdowns. So I just don't get that. But once again, he was 20 of 36 for 242, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Allen Robinson, just mentioned him. He was the leading receiver with 5 receptions, 74 yards. And then you had, he was the leading receiver in terms of receptions. But also then you had Anthony Miller, who had 4 receptions for 76 yards, and he did have that spectacular touchdown, which put the Bears over and sealed the game for the Bears, even though, thank God, the Lions rookie dropped the ball. But basically, that score sealed the game for the Bears and got them that victory. David Montgomery led the team in rushing. I'm glad that they kept taking him out and just using him sparingly, because he did just come back from that groin injury, didn't want to put too much work on him, and he wound up just re-injuring that groin or tear it, and then he's gone for the rest of the season, or he's going at least 8 to 12 weeks. But he led the team with 13 carries for 64 yards. Second was Tariq Cohen with 7 carries for 41 yards. The Bears rushed for over 5 yards a carry in that game. You had some carries from Mitchell Trubisky and also Patterson as well. So they went ahead and just played great out there. And what more you can ask for in terms of rushing? Just they have to score in the red zone. So let's see if they're gonna fix those mistakes and also play better on third down, because they was only 2 of 11 from third down. So let's hope they also just progress on that as well as the season go along. If they play well, they can wind up sneaking out 10 games. 10 games this year, most likely they're going to get in the playoffs. They win 11, most likely they're going to win the division. But they have to win those type of games that they're supposed to win, and also basically sweep the division. That's the only how they're going to have a chance to win the division. I know it's the first game, but you just got to think positive, baby. Then up next, now you talk about the defense, giving up 426 total yards. It was a few bright spots, like I mentioned earlier. Kyle Fuller with his interception, Eddie Jackson and Jalen Johnson making that type of plays. And then you had Danny Trevathan and Roquan Smith, and also Tayshaun Gibson. All of them are tied with having 7 total tackles in the game. That was a few impact plays where they came in and stopped the play, especially in the run. Not so much a pass. Danny Trevathan was getting lit up all over the field by the tight end. But hey, tight end was just that good. But the Bears just need to get it together defensively. I would like it if it was more of in between, like they give up 264 total yards. That would be a great reversal. That means they definitely did something against the run in the past there. But as my prediction, I'm picking the Bears to win this game 24-17. I believe it's going to be a close game all the way down the stretch. And Trubisky's going to lead the team late in the game. Most likely it's going to be a touchdown. Can't be no damn field goal. But lead the team down the field and they're going to score towards the end of the game, probably somewhat like it was with the Lions, just probably going to be a little bit more time, maybe 2 or 3 minutes more than it was. And I believe they're going to get that same type of play from Kyle Fuller, getting an interception, and this time Roquan Smith or Khalil Mack get a sack instead of just being Akeem Hicks getting the only sack of the game. But that is my prediction. This is just I just can't wait to see this game, basically, between the Bears and the Giants. I just been waiting on football forever, so I'm just a little antsy right now. But this is John O'Pimney with another sports reaction. All right, peace out, everyone.